say, but we have a white Caucasian British judge giving us more justice. Here is what he said in this paragraph. I think our government never told us, watch this. The government, this is the government of St. Vincent, the government allocated a budget. You tell me if this is about public health or not about somebody filling their pockets. The government allocated a budget of US $1,369,380 to its jab rollout campaign. Of this, US $234,380 was budgeted to come from the government's own funding. US $460,000 from external sources, including $410,000 from an, here it is, from an unnamed friendly government source. US $410,000 to push the jab campaign. And the balance of $789,380 was to be financed further. That's US dollars. Hear this now. Hear this now. The government disclosed its strategy to address the gap of $789,380 US dollars, as including raising a bank loan of US $1 million, a payment of US $368,000 from a trust known as the Musty Charitable Trust, a payment of $200,000 US dollars by way of an ALBA grant, and a further US $600,000 from a friendly government source, the identity of which was also withheld. So that's $410,000 plus $600,000. That's $1,010,000 US dollars was given to the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines by something called a friendly government source, and whose identity they withheld from us to push the jab campaign. And we are told the terms and conditions for the various financing sources, including in respect of funds supplied by foreign-friendly government sources, were not put in evidence. So the government of Ralph Gonsalves got over $1 million US dollars from something called foreign unnamed friendly government source. You don't tell us who they are. You don't tell us the terms and conditions, so we don't know what you promised them. We don't know what they have over us. And to do what? Push a jab campaign. So you had to make sure you rub it in Vincentian skin because you took $1 million. We don't know who gave you. We don't know what you promised. We don't know what they told you have to do to get it. And then you ask us to believe it was about public health. And my family is dead. And a whole set of other people's family dead. If it wasn't for just this World Bank judgment, we wouldn't know this. And we have asked since. I have called publicly in a TikTok video and said, opposition members go to the parliament and write questions and ask the government to say who the unnamed friendly government source is. We have a right to know. During that disease time,
you do.
We were hearing certain people, like the gates of hell was down in our Grenadine Islands. We were hearing about the gates opened. A bill of gates, I call it. And we don't know what they were doing there. And we don't know what deals were being made. But all we know, our people suffered. And government collected $1 million US, and they ain't telling us from who. You see the kind of thing that's what's going on, my dear Caribbean people? You could imagine what happened in your country too? Sell out our people for money. Why? If it is about public health, if it is innocent and pure and nothing sinister, why are you not telling us who? Why did the judge have to say the identity was withheld? Why you withhold the terms and conditions of the funding sources for your campaign? God have mercy upon us. This is what really happened in this country. It wasn't about public health. It was about money. And we don't know if it went into the consolidated fund. We don't know if it went into politicians' pockets. All we know, they took $1 million US dollars. They forced the jab on our people. They made our people lose their livelihoods, made them lose their jobs, make our people suffering. People have bank writing them about their mortgage. People have light bill and different things cutting off. Police officers having to sell plantain chips on the street, on the side of the street, sell sweets and all kind of thing. go into farming. Not that farming is wrong, but you had your career in police, however, for 15, 20 years, and now you have to go and try plant some food because you're out of a job, because you wanted to protect your conscience. And meanwhile, government collect $1 million US and nobody telling us who gave it and what they
Wow.
promised for it.
Well, you
We
know,
we cry out for justice. We cry out to God. And we say, never again. You petty tyrant, Ralph Gonzalez, you will not be allowed to do this to our people again. And we hope that the people will show them. We hope the people will show them. And we need to know, Brother Shefflin, if the public
Mhm.
servants are thinking about going to the Privy Council, because they should. They should go to the Privy
Yeah.
Council.
well, I'm seeing
Yes.
in several of the articles that there's several articles, Anicia, that are being carried by the St. Vincent newspapers, by the Trinidad newspapers, by Loop Caribbean, concerning the aspect of the matter being taken up
Mhm.
by the Privy Council in London. I see a number that is being considered. I will say we had our own situation here in Barbados. I think we were a little more flexible than that, but during all of that time, we were we were we saw that a lot of what was shared concerning the pandemic was a blatant lie. The U.S.
Precisely.
Supreme Court, for that matter, the U.S. Supreme Court forced the pharmaceutical giant to reveal all of it. And very recently, it was also revealed that in one of the other companies that forced this whole matter upon us, all no proper clinical trials, CDC and
Right.
the FDA, no proper examination, which has now all come out. Trump's election has exposed a ton of stuff concerning this. It was even going on before, but of course,
That's right.
we know that that was being censored